Hello students, now I am going to discuss you about differences between hire purchase system and installment system. So in hire purchase system, there are some bases. Let me explain the nature of agreement, transfer of ownership, names of the parties, relationship, risk of loss, risk of sale, reposition of goods, and termination of an agreement, installment and governing. So these are some terms they are following. In hire purchase system, the contractor, the buyer and the seller, they both should know about the agreement of hiring with option to buy. So the first process they are going to do here is they will put an agreement to start their business. It is an agreement of risk. In installment system means and there is some risks by regarding this process of system, but in hire purchase system the agreement of hiring is very good process, but in installment system that is very risky one. Transfer of ownership, so ownership is transferred to payment of final installment. Here the ownership is transferred at the final time, but in installment basis, while they are first signing the agreement, they can they can take their ownership, and in hire purchase system at the final payment only they can enjoy their ownership, but in installment system they can enjoy at beginning itself. Here name of the parties, the buyer is called hirer and the owner is called hire vendor. But opposite here, the parties involved are called buyer and seller. Just a general concept, buyer and seller in installment system. But in hire purchase system, the buyer is called as hirer and the owner is called hire vendor. Fourth point, relationship. What is the relationship between hire purchase system and installment? So they are termed as two types. Hirer and hire vendor is bailer and bailee. Creditor till last installment of them. They will be the creditor till last installment of payment. And here the relationship between buyer and seller is called debtors. So here they are called creditors and in installment system they are debtors. Hirer, so here hirer and hire vendor called bailer and bailee process. But here they are only buyer and seller. The process only they are doing is debtor process. Risk of loss. The hirer is not responsible for any loss of goods if he has taken. So hirer is not responsible. So it may be anything can be loss or something. The hirer will not respond. But here opposite, the buyer is responsible for the loss and goods. So buyer will be the responsible for the loss of goods, and in hire purchase system the buyer will not be the responsible. Fifth point, risk of loss. So we have discussed fifth point, and right now I am going to sixth point, right of sale. The hirer cannot sell the goods till he gets ownership. So hirer means the buyer. The buyer cannot send the goods till the last payment, and here the buyer has right to sell the goods even before installment pay. Even before the installment paid, the buyer can sell or he can do anything with that product. And here hire purchase system there is not at all possible to do that process. Risk of repossession of goods. Hire vendor can repossess the goods of installment if not paid. He have paid the first installment until he didn't pay the final installment. In that term, if he was anything risky with that product, means he can immediately exchange the product. But here he can sell the product. But in installment system, buyer has right to sell the goods even before installment or paid. So then he cannot pay, and here he can pay the goods. Termination of an agreement. Hirer can terminate the agreement by returning the goods. Here how he is going to terminate? He can terminate the agreement. While he is terminating the agreement, immediately he should hand over the goods. Seller cannot repossess the goods, he can sue for dues. So he cannot be repossessed. He can make that for due. That is mean installment process. Installment. Each installment include hire charges and part payment of cash price. here installment system, each installment includes part payment of cash price. So here only the cash prices are involved. So here in hire purchase system, higher charges and part payment charges for cash price is also included. Governing Hire Purchase Act 1972 governs a hire purchase agreement. So it comes under the Act of 1972 Act. Installment purchase is governed by Sale of Goods Act. So here nothing, only Sale of Goods Act, but here in Hire Purchase Act 1972. Okay, now we can see an illustration sum. I have took that illustration some method of calculating for interest, how he is going to pay the interest. Likewise, that sum I have chosen. When rate of interest, total cash price and installment are given. While we are purchasing a product, interest, total cash price, installment, everything will be given in that particular goods. So in that goods, how we are going to purchase the calculation. On 1186 X purchased machinery and hire purchase system. So he is buying a product in hire purchase system, not in installment basis. Okay. The payment is or to be made rupees 4,000 for down payment. So that is signing for contract amount, that is called as down payment. Total amount is 4,000 rupees and rupees 4,000 for annually for 3 years. He have taken for annual payment for 3 years. The amount is also 4,000. Down payment is also 4,000. The cash price of the machinery is 14,900. Cash price is 14,900 and the rate of interest is 5%. Rate of interest is 5%. Calculate the interest in each year's installment. So total years given is 3 years. Now we are going to calculate for each years. So here the solution. So first column we are going to do particulars, total cash price, installment paid, interest paid and cash price paid. So I'll explain the sum for you. Cash price. What is the cash price of machinery? 14,900. So that could be entered in total cash price column. So what is the down payment? 4,000 rupees. So now we are going to minus the interest rate. Okay. 14,900 minus 4,000, 10,900. So like that we are going to minus for installment paid. So installment also paid for 4,000. So interest paid for first year, there is not interest paid. So in that way they are given for down payment. So interest paid will not be calculated. So this 4,000 will be transferred to cash price paid. So we are going to minus the term cash price and down payment, 10,900. So second installment paid. Now we are going to minus this value. So by minus, so now we are going to calculate this value for 5% interest. So we are going to take the amount 10,900 into 5% for 3 years. So 10,000 into 5 divided by 100 is equal to 545 rupees is interest paid for first installment. So 4,000 minus 545 is 3,455 rupees. 455 rupees. So we are going to minus for second installment with this cash price. So 10,900 minus 3,455 could be 7,445 rupees. So for this we are going to do for second installment, we are going to calculate for 5%. So the given, so the answer could we are going to get is, we are getting is 372 rupees. Now this answer is minus with second installment. Again we are going to transfer that balance amount to third installment. So like this, by we are calculating these amount, we are going to get installment paid is 16,000, interest paid is 1,100 rupees, cash price is 14,900. We are going to calculate 5% for 3 installment. I have explained that 3 installment we are doing 5% with interest with particulars. So what we are going to given, that what we given in total cash price we are going to do with 5%. So I think you all could understand this sum. So this is easiest sum in this chapter. It will be easy for you to follow. Thank you.